starting on hands and knees, we want to feel first the pelvis moving. So you're just going to start with a nice tuck and untuck movement. And I'm not going to be really picky about the shoulders and the neck. If you could keep your upper body a little more still and make sure the pelvis is doing most of the movement, that's great. It also doesn't have to be huge. It can just be a small tuck and untuck movement. And as you're tucking and untucking, I want you to be aware of your sit bones, widening when you arch your low back and narrowing when you round your low back. So arch your low back, sit bones wide, sit bones narrow when you round or when you tuck. So keep going and just explore that movement in your own pelvis. Often interesting to note if one sit bone moves more than the other. And then just because we probably want to, let's get the whole spine moving. So round your entire spine into a cat back, and then lower and lengthen your spine into a bit of extension. And go up into flexion, that nice round cat spine, and then extend. And we'll do 3 more. Flexing the spine, pushing through the knees and the hands, extending the spine. Make sure all these movements feel good. Flexing and extending. 1 more time, making it smaller or bigger, depending on what feels good. Stay on your hands for a little bit longer. Keep your spine nice and long, so lengthen your neck, lengthen your thoracic spine, lengthen your low back, and then just start to sit back and stretch the sit bones wide as you go back, and then hinge forward. So the spine stays really straight, and we're just hinging back to really widen those sit bones, and then come back equally onto hands and knees. Keep going. And imagine as your sit bones widen, allow your lumbar spine to get longer. So breathing, stretching the sit bones wide and letting the tail reach away from the waistline. Yeah, really nice. Send your breath back there. Nice work, everybody. Do 1 more, just really getting that low back opened up. And then let's move the lumbar spine more. So come onto your seat. Put your feet flat in front of you. Let's have the knees and the feet a little wider than the shoulders. We're going to sit up really nice and tall, holding the backs of the legs, breathing in. As you exhale, just roll back off your sit bones, but push your head to the ceiling. And then roll towards your tailbone, but push your head to the ceiling. And then roll along your sacrum, pushing your head up to the ceiling, and then bend your elbows to come back up. Breathe in at the top, exhale, roll back on the sit bones, head goes up, roll back through the tail and sacrum, head reaches up, and then pull yourself up again. Go a little faster, exhaling on your way back and exhaling on your way forward. Inhale at the top. So you exhale to go back, exhale to come forward, inhale up. And keep going. We're going to try to reach the top of the head to the ceiling the whole time. And in your effort to lengthen your head up, while you sequence back through your spine, the low abdominals start to kick in. So start using the low abdominals to control the sequencing from tail to sacrum. Good. Try not to hold your breath. Exhale back and forward. Breathe in at the top. It's like you're coming up for air, a little sip of air, and then you exhale the air out. Now you have choices. You can either keep your hands on your legs or take your arms forward and do the same controlled roll back. This time it's all low abdominals. Exhaling back, exhaling forward and come up. Sip of air, exhale back, exhale forward, come up. The goal is less about how far you go back and more about really sequencing clearly from the tail through towards the top of the sacrum. We're going to do about 5 more. So keep using your exhale and say hi to the low abdominals, drawing them in towards the spine, letting the lumbar spine open up behind you. 2 more times. It looks really excellent, everyone. Nice curling back. Let the pelvis roll away from the thighs. Good. Next time, go all the way down with control. Lower yourself down with control. Nice and easy. Put your arms down by your sides. Walk your feet in a little closer to your bum. Stretch your right leg up to the ceiling with your foot flexed and turn your thigh in and out. And in and out. So just a really clear, clean internal, external rotation from the hip. And while you do that easy movement, keep the sacrum heavy. Relax the back of the pelvis and the back of the rib cage into the ground. 3 more times, turning in and out. Each time, a smooth, lubricated swivel. Good, then put the right foot down and switch sides. Left leg to the ceiling, foot flexed, turn in, turn out. And give it a moment, be patient here. If your hip feels tight, if one way or another feels hard to do, keep breathing and don't force the rotation. Let your sacrum flatten into the ground. Relax the back of your rib cage. Nice work, everybody. 3 more times. A nice, smooth, lubricated movement of that femur in the hip sockets. And then put that foot down. Take your arms up to the ceiling with your palms facing each other. And just recall in your mind what we were doing when we were seated, curling back. This time we're going to curl up. So take a breath in from the tail. Reach your tail towards your feet. Heel your tailbone and then your sacrum. And then just your lumbar spine to L3. So right behind the belly button. L3 should be down. Take a breath in at the top. And then exhale, roll down from L3, L4, L5, sacrum and tail. Now we're going to do it with a specific breath. Take a big breath in. Exhale, curl up from your tail to L3. Exhale, roll down from L3 to the tail. Breathe in. Exhale, peel up. It's very small. It's maybe annoyingly small. Exhale and roll down. Breathe in. But again, the goal isn't the size of the movement. It's using the low abdominals and not the bum to peel the lowest part of the spine up and to place it back down with control. So really put your focus on the lower, deeper abdominals to create a sequencing, controlled pelvic curl and release. Inhaling at the bottom. If you want to challenge yourself further, float your right foot just off the floor and try the movement with only the left foot down and the right foot hovering. And see if you can do it without squeezing your left bum, without pressing your left foot a lot. Use the low abdominals. Just as a little experiment. And then what about the other side? Put your right foot down if you'd like, hover your left foot. And again, exhaling up and down and really calling on the low abdominals to create some movement with a lot of control. And if you're working just on the sacrum, say you don't go all the way to L3, that's fine. Make it small. Okay, let's put the left foot down, arms down in a nice wide V. Walk your feet wide and let your knees just lazily drift from side to side. Relaxing the chest and shoulders. Exactly, really nice, everyone. Relaxing the sternum here. Fantastic. Okay, hug your right knee into your chest and stretch your left leg out nice and long. Good, we're gonna add our favorite ELDOA tensions. So flex both feet. Internally rotate your long leg. Invert the foot. Evert the bent leg foot. So the soles of both of your feet are looking to the right. Lengthen your neck, lengthen your low back. Hold on to that knee with your left hand and take your right arm up to the ceiling, external rotation, extended wrist, and arc that arm all the way back towards your ear. Good, so the left leg is long, the right arm is long. Think about lengthening through the front of your left hip and lengthening through the front of the right armpit. And lower your eyes over your cheekbones and breathe into the back of the pelvis for 5, 4, stretching longer and longer, 3, 2, 1. Take your arm back up to the ceiling, replace it on your knee. Relax your feet. Draw your left knee into your chest and release your right leg long, switching sides. Right away, we'll flex the feet. Turn the long leg in and invert that foot. Evert the bent leg foot. Hold on to your knee with your right hand now. Take your left arm up to the ceiling, flat palm, turned out arm, and arc that arm back to your ear. And just take a few breaths here and imagine the front of the right hip stretching open and the back of the pelvis wide and the left armpit stretching long. So you're creating the longest diagonal from hand to foot that you can with a soft breath. Last 5, 4, 3, keep reaching into the stretch. 2, 1. Now bring your arm back up to the ceiling, bring it back to your knee. Relax your feet and draw your right knee in as well. So you're holding both shins. Good, now use your arms to help you here. You're gonna take a big breath in. As you exhale, nod your chin and curl your head and shoulders up into a little ball. You're doing kind of an upper ab curl. Curl up off the shoulder blades and breathe in up here. We're gonna go right back down. I want you to lower bone by bone, lengthening your upper body down and really letting the chest get heavy. Keep your chin tucked at the bottom here, eyes down. Pull the ribs down to the floor. And now flex both feet and evert both feet. Widen the back of your pelvis. Feel free to wiggle your hips away from your back ribs, your back bottom ribs. And then pull the knees into the chest more and press the sacrum, the dimples of the sacrum down more. Pull the knees into the chest, press the dimples down, lengthen the spine and tuck the chin. Keep the feet flexed and everted. Last 5, pull the knees in, push the sacrum down. 3, 2, 1, and release your feet. Let your knees move away from you. Put one foot down at a time and relax your spine. Nice work, everyone. Take 3 breaths into your belly. Pausing for a breath, pausing to get the breath going a little lower towards your pelvis here. Good job. Lengthen your spine out again. Long neck, long thoracic spine. Reach your tail towards your feet so your low back is flat. Now cross your right ankle over your left knee and draw your left thigh in so you're in your favorite glute stretch. Good. Just look down over your cheekbones and set up the nice E version of the feet. So push the arches of the feet away, really flex, really pull the tops of your feet towards your shins. Now, if you're getting a great stretch and you're loving it, feel free to stay here. But if you want a little bit more, start to arc your left thigh to the left so that the whole shape of your legs is carried to the left. And you might feel your right bum lift off the floor, and that's fine. But think about pressing it back down. And just notice if that's a good stretch as well for you. And stay here for just another 5, 4, or you can be in the original position, whatever feels best. 3, 2, and 1. Let's slowly release the stretch and switch to the other side. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. Draw your right thigh in. Flex and evert your feet. Lengthen out your spine and really flex those ankles to add a good amount of tension all the way into the soles of the feet. And then if you'd like, you stay here, or you can arc the whole shape over to the right and see how that feels. Does your left hip want to lift? Try to anchor it back down a little bit and even reach that left sit bone away. And find an amount of stretch that feels so good that the back of your pelvis can widen and lengthen. Really nice work, everybody. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release the stretch. Good, rolling onto your side, coming up to seated. We're gonna start with L2, which is kind of weird maybe, but I just wanna go from what I think is the hardest to the easiest. So you're gonna sit in a very big inner thigh stretch. So legs as wide as you're comfortable with. We're all gonna have a different shape here with our legs, and that's perfect. You just wanna feel an inner thigh stretch. Wiggle around on your sit bones a little bit. Excellent, good. Take your hands, if you can, to your low ribs and do a little rib translation. If you need to keep your hands down, keep them down, no worries. Good, translate the ribs right to left. Good, now take your hands to the base of your skull. Hold on to the base of your skull and pull your ears up away from your sit bones, and then drop your sit bones down. And you can also imagine this. Imagine a hand lifting your head up while your sit bones try to drop down. That requires you not clenching your bum. You have to let the butt muscles go. Really nice work. With control, keep that nice tall spine and put one hand down at a time. Good, really nice. Keep your spine tall and start to sneak your legs in a little bit closer. Good, and you want to aim for about a 90-degree angle between the thighs. Perfect. Now keeping the heels on the floor today, slide your heels away to flex your feet. Roll your inner thighs towards the floor and then twist your foot into that bit of inversion. Good, take your arms in front of you and translate your ribs side to side and a little bit back. And remember, you get to stop at any point along the way. Yeah, really good. Pause in the center if you want to continue. Externally rotate your arms and extend your wrists. Start to float your arms up, but drop your shoulder blades down. Arms up, shoulder blades down. Arms up, shoulder blades down. Or maybe you just stay and focus on your legs and your spine, which is just as good. Pull the tail down to the floor, drop the sit bones down to the floor. Slide the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Translate the ribs back and up and back and up. We're in full L2-3 position here. And where is L2? It's just above belly button height. So lift L2 up and pull L3 down. Inhale to lift, exhale to pull down. Inhale, lift up, exhale, pull down. Roll the thighs in your mind. Reach through your heels a little more, plant your sit bones. Last 5 and 4, good. I love seeing little movements of the rib cage, that's great. Wiggle some more height out of it. Now listen, your arms are gonna open up to a nice V shape. Hold there for 5, 4, nice V shape, either side of the head, 3, 2, lower your arms down for a split second. Slide your legs in closer. Release the internal rotation, give them a good old wiggle, and they're gonna stay on this angle for L1-2. Now, really quickly, grab a hold of those bottom ribs again and translate the bottom ribs, circle the bottom ribs, because this next ELDOA is just below, right? We're thinking about T12, just below that, there's L1, L2. So leave your legs in this position and take your arms in front of you. Kind of like you're a doll sitting on the shelf. Be really heavy, like your bottom is full of sand. And then push your head up to the ceiling. Soften your rib cage back. Think about the xiphoid process, the solar plexus dropping. Good, now same thing, keep your heels on the floor as you flex your feet. Roll your thighs in, breathing out, invert the feet. Now do the opposite with the arms. Externally rotate your arms and extend your wrists. Float your arms up into the V shape you left just a few moments ago. Really nice. Drop the shoulder blades down and out. So shoulder blades go down and wide. Nice. Crown of the head floats up, so you're like a turtle coming out of its shell. Good, reach from behind your belly button. So let's imagine the arms starting behind the belly button, push them away from there. Breathe in. Nice work, everyone. Keep that reach of your arms and drop your sit bones into the ground. Roll the thighs in and reach through the heels. Elongate the spine. Find that nice tall spine. Hold here for 10. And 9. Good, Scott. Even if you can just maintain the spine, that's great. Good work for the spine muscles. Last 5 and 4. Good. 3 and 2. Bring your arms up. Push the ceiling away. Hold this for 5. 4. Push the ceiling up, 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 up. Arms right beside your ears. Feel your arms beside your head. Now bring your arms slowly down. Good. Recline back on your hands. Wiggle your legs out. That's the next position for our arms. We're going to do L4. So you're going to slide your legs into a diamond position. Just stay reclined on your hands for a second, and let's play with how to set up maximum tension in our leg bones. So I do want you to think about bones, the bones of your legs. So first we flex the feet, and we pull the tops of the feet towards the shins, blah, blah, blah. We do that all the time. So now take your shin bones and externally rotate them. Take your thigh bones and internally rotate them. This happens right between the knee and the ankle. So shins externally rotate between the knee and the ankle. And then from the hip sockets, the thigh bones roll in. If you can handle a little bit more, you're going to pull your heels towards you without moving them. Just pull them towards you. Good. Lift up out of your spine. Let's take your hands behind your head and give yourself that little assist where you pull your head away from your shoulders, but at the same time, you let your pelvis drop right into the ground. The arms are working, the glutes are releasing. Let's take one arm at a time out in front of us, external rotation, extended wrists, and then slowly bring the arms up. Let the shoulder blades drop down. Arms come up, shoulder blades down. Ideally, the arms come close to the sides of the head. The neck is long. Drop the tail and the pelvis down while you push the head up. Imagine extra hands pulling your head up from the back. Slide the ribs back and up off the pelvis. Turn your shins out and your thighs in. Good. Traction your heels towards you. By now, you should really feel the low back opening more and more. Let's hold for 10. And 9. Think about L4, sliding a little bit back and up. And pull your sacrum and L5 down. 3 and 2. That looks super, everybody. Let's bring the arms slowly down. Beautiful. Nice, Scott. Stay there if you can for a moment. Relax the legs. Relax the spine. Fantastic. Slide your legs out and roll your thighs in and out. Take a few breaths here. We're going to do L3 and then we get to go to the wall for L5. So let's take the legs in front of us, external rotation, flex your ankles, and just draw your heels towards you until you're in a long diamond. You can stay back on your hands for this part. Again, I want you to think about the independent movement of the bones. So shin bones from knee to ankle are turning out. Thigh bones from the hips are turning in. And it's really, you're literally just trying to move the skin of the bones. And then we're going to think about the heels tractioning in towards us. We'll sit tall and we'll just dig deep for another 60 seconds. Take your arms in front of you. Externally rotate your arms and extend your wrists. Just for a moment, push your hands forward and push your ribs backwards. Push your arms forward, push your ribs backwards. Stay there as long as you like, exploring that. And then when you're ready, the arms go up as the shoulder blades go down. All the way up towards the ears. Once your arms are up, check that the legs are still in tension, heels are in tension, ribs are back, and then go ahead and open the arms. And reach those arms from behind your heart. Pull away from the back of the heart. Push the head up from between the shoulders. Drop the sacrum through the ground. Turn the shins out and the thighs in. Good work. Soften the chest and pull the ribs back. Then draw the ears back and push the head up. You're doing so well. Breathe in and grow taller, reaching from behind the heart. Breathe out and grow taller, dropping the tailbone down. Traction the heels in, last 5 and 4. Nice work, everybody. 3, grow, grow, grow out of your low back. Lift off of your spine. 3, 2, 1, drop the arms down with the spine going up. Release the legs, fantastic work. Recline on your hands. Good, and then let's go to the wall. We're gonna put our legs up the wall and we'll take some belly breaths when we get there to just release a little bit. Now, if you're having SI joint issues today, put your bum a little bit further away from the wall. Don't have it right up against the wall. Otherwise, you're welcome to put the sit bones, ideally, in fact, you would have the sit bones right up against the wall. So here's our final ELDOA, but we're going to start with breathing. So ideally, we'll start from 0, as little tension as possible, and then we get to add it and curate that tension however it suits us today. So you're going to decide if this is one of those really go for it, all the tension, or more of a restorative feeling. Put your hands on your belly and take 3 breaths into your hands. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, exhale. One more breath, inhale and exhale, relaxing the ribs and pelvis. Good, now keep that nice heaviness through the back of the body and flex your feet. Sliding those heels up the wall. Turn your thigh bones in at the hip. Turn your shin bones out from knee to ankle. Invert your feet so the soles of the feet look at each other and feel how your sacrum is pressing into the ground. Push that sacrum away from you to open the low back more. Take your arms up to the ceiling and feel free to wiggle on the shoulder blades, walk out through the back of the ribs, and then lengthen the neck and externally rotate the arms, extending your wrists. Same as before, let the arms arc back as the shoulder blades drop down and the chest softens. So the closer your biceps come to your head, the softer your sternum gets, and the wider your upper back gets, and the wider the back of the pelvis gets. So once your arms are back as far as they'll go today, take a second and let the back of the pelvic girdle and shoulder girdle widen and sink. Exactly, beautiful work. Stay here and just breathe and see if you can release the low abdominals to allow the low back to open. And see if you want to lengthen crown and tail a little bit more, but imagine the body to be really soft. Imagine all the bones and tissues to be really supple and really malleable so that you could continue stretching like a piece of taffy. Last 5 and 4, focus on L5S1 now, halfway between pubic bones and belly button. Open it up for 3 and 2, great work. Last breath in and out. And then when you're ready, the arms come out, but the legs and the spine remain. And then the legs come out, but the spine remains. And then the spine relaxes. Excellent work.